Hello and welcome to episode 39 of Some Like It Real. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Veronica.
And we're two cinephiles who love to talk movies.
We have weekly episodes discussing the newest films, creating lists and drafts, and keeping you updated on the latest movie headlines and awards races.
As a reminder, please like, rate, and subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms, which helps more people find the show.
And share it with any cinephiles in your life.
We're bringing another draft focusing on a year today, and this time we're jumping back to the year of our Lord, 2011.
Yeah, 2011. These movies are 15 years old. Can't believe where the time went. Doing these drafts reminds us of the good old days, being young, not having adult responsibilities.
Thankfully, this episode will help us relive our youth. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Joining us for the draft today are two wonderful guests. First up, Aaron Bartuska.
Hello. Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. I'm ready to win the draft. How do you win the draft? Does anyone vote on this?
People do vote on this.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready to win. I'm ready to win.
Also joining us is Jonathan Fujii.
Hello. Whoever takes Cars 2 should lose. I think I'm going to put that out there. Whoever takes Cars 2 should automatically lose.
Went undrafted on our Pixar draft recently, so I don't know if we're going to have a problem there.
There we go. There we go.
Well, we're very excited to have you both, regardless of Cars or not. Aaron, the last time you were on, Bryan and I spoke to you about your film, These Are My Friends. So how does it feel being here for a draft? Is this, less pressure, or are you feeling competitive?
There's just so much more pressure. I am feeling competitive. I feel like I'm another fellow listener of the big picture, so I'm always listening to their drafts and hearing how heated that gets, and so I've been waiting for my chance to do one of my own, and I'm very happy and excited and scared.
Awesome.
And Jonathan, this is your first time on the podcast. Welcome. Are you excited to be drafting on us? Do you have a particular strategy you're trying to go for? Are you trying to end the friendship that you have with all of us, even though Veronica and Aaron, these are new friends for you, but
first time. Always excited. This is my first time on this pod, but I have plenty of experience with drafting, and I like to win, but I also like to create content. So if I can anger one of you, that would be great for me personally.
It'll probably be me that you anger.
Yeah, Brian's an easy target.
Probably.
Wonderful. Can't wait. It'll be so much fun drafting with you both. But before we get started, Bryan, would you like to explain the rules and categories to our listeners?
Absolutely. We'll each be drafting teams of 6 films, and the categories will be as follow: comedy, drama, Oscar nom, action, horror, box office where a film must have made more than $100 million domestically, and wild card where you can let loose and pick whatever your heart desires.
And a reminder that all the films must have come out in the U.S. before January 1st and between January 1st and December 31st to be deemed eligible for the draft.
If the first person doesn't draft Jack and Jill, then we'll have a serious problem. Anyways, it's time to pick the draft order. I have our names on a wheel. Wheelofnames.com. Thank you so much for not sponsoring this podcast as per usual. I'm going to spin the wheel. I am not going to ask who wants to go first, because if you tell yourself you want to go first, chances are you're going to go last. Proven from past drafts. So here we go. First up on the wheel will be, spin please. First up is, I can't even see what that says.
We've got Jonathan.
Let's go. Let's go. Needed that.
Okay.
Remember, if Jack and Jill isn't the first film on the board, then you're off. I could just kick you out of the room.
You're right.
Next up will be...
Oh, it's close, but it's going to be me.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm usually last, so second's pretty good for me.
Bryan, it's down to us.
I know. Oh.
Pretty close.
Oh.
It's Aaron.
I wanted the turn. Yeah. So I got the worst one, I think. It's fine.
So the draft order will be Jonathan, Veronica, Aaron, and me. So before we get into talking about these movies, let's go around to talk about where everybody was in 2011, your stance on film at that point, and just, throw some spiel about where you were at that time. So, Aaron, let's start with you.
Sure, yeah, I was seventh going into eighth grade. I feel like this was around the time where I grew up being into movies, but this is around when I started having like movie autonomy. Like I remember seeing Insidious with my friends the year before, and then just going to a bunch of movies this year too, and really like paying attention to what I was watching rather than just whatever was on my parents' shelf or what was on TV. So it was a big year for my movie independence, right, where I started to grow into a real cinephile. I think I saw The Exorcist for the first time this year. So yeah, it was a good year.
Jonathan, would you also say it was a good year for you in the year of our Lord 2011? It's late where I am right now, so I can't speak English.
Um, I don't. Let's see. 2011. I think I was in eighth grade, and I can't say that this was a big year for me for movies from what I remember. For whatever reason, since I really got into this, 2011 has actually felt like a blind spot year for me. And I don't really know why, because I looked through it and I've seen a good amount. But, in eighth grade, right before high school, I was like really close with a bunch of stupid, stupid guys who were just messing around. I can't say I was like, yo, let's go watch The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Like that was not me, but it was a good year. And looking back on it, another good year for movies.
You're probably the kind of person who's like, yo, let's not go watch The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Let's go watch Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked.
I'm pretty sure that conversation happened. I'm not gonna lie, that probably happened.
It's in play tonight.
Veronica, what about you? What's your stance on 2011 as a year on its own, but then also as a year of movies?
Yeah, this is 15 years ago, and I'm 30 years old, so 2011 was half my lifetime ago, which feels so crazy. Because especially I think as I was looking through these movies and everything, I think that just depending on what I was into at the time, what I got a chance to see, like some of these I'm like that might have been I would have thought that was early 2000s or feels older than that, and then some of them I'm like I'm pretty sure that came out 5 minutes ago. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag in terms of like things I was very much into, and then other things I caught up later on. Some things I just caught up on very, very recently for this draft in preparation. So I do think it's a really good movie year, and I think we're going to have a lot of options to pick from. Some categories stronger than others, as is usually the case. But yeah, a good movie year, a good time in my life. I think I was definitely getting more into movies. The things that I loved, I really loved, I think. So yeah, this was a good time for me.
Yeah, 2011 was the year that I turned 13. This was a very special year for me when it came to the movies, because this was the year that my parents finally said, you know what, we're going to let the boy go to the theater to watch R-rated movies. So this was a very big deal for me, because I couldn't go see certain movies because they were rated R, but then my parents were like, I think it's time for him to go see these. So very special year, a lot of great memories. Some of my favorite theater-going experiences came out of 2011, and we'll definitely touch upon those when certain films get mentioned today during the pod. But yeah, I consider this year to be the year where I really started getting into film. Of course, I didn't watch every single classic at this point, but this was where I finally started to expand my horizons now that I was able to watch whatever I wanted. So very special year for film. Not a great year in my personal life, unfortunately, but when it comes to the movies, you look at the list of stuff that came out in 2011, you're like, wow, heater after heater after heater. And I'm speaking specifically about Jack and Jill, The Smurfs, and Cars 2 when I say heater, heater, heater. But no, in all seriousness, this is a very, very good year for film. I'm excited to do this draft with the three of you today, and I cannot wait to see what films you draft.
All right, shall we begin?
Let's begin. Jonathan, you get to put the first film on the board. A lot of pressure. Remember, if it isn't Jack and Jill, it's over for you. So choose wisely. You have one option or else.
Okay.
You're tumbling down the hill.
Well, this is not as stressful as like an auction draft, because an auction, first pick doesn't really mean much. But with this one, this is a big one. So, some people have different strats. I could take my favorite or what other people think is the best, or they can look at a category and say, this is weak. so I'm gonna try to take it now. I think this is gonna hit all the boxes for me personally. I think it's not the strongest category, at least in my opinion, and it is my favorite. So in drama, I will take Moneyball, which is my favorite. That's my favorite movie. It's a perfect film. It is so funny that this happened because a month ago I was invited on a basketball podcast to talk about Moneyball. It was very interesting. Mixing sports there, but all good. Love it. So I already have it in the top of my mind. And to me, this is like a quintessential perfect movie that we legitimately don't get that much anymore. Just like a singular movie star, not doing the typical quote unquote like movie star thing, like a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible. But everything about this works. It's my favorite. Got to take it now.
It's a great film. I'm not a big sports guy, but this is one of my favorite sports films ever. Who knew that something like this could be so fascinating and so engrossing? Might be my favorite Brad Pitt performance, which is crazy because he's put out so many great performances. And it also gave us serious Jonah Hill, which I never thought in my life that I would get. And I love that this spawned to a joke that was mentioned in This Is the End. God, it's Jonah. Thank you for Moneyball.
Yeah, I rewatched this a few days ago in prep for this, and it had been a while for me. And yeah, I feel like this one definitely gets, this has been really reclaimed as like a big cinephile classic, and it totally holds up for me. It's for very good reason, Brad Pitt, Jonah Hill, for sure. You have Philip Seymour Hoffman, like, just kind of doing the opposite of, like, chewing the scenery. He's, like, so, like, reserved and just kind of, like, disappears into a role the way that he does really, really well. And, a bunch of other great supporting turns. But, yeah, it's just, it's a sports movie that's not so much about sports. It's kind of about the world around it and an interesting perspective on changing the game and using math and analysis. And it's kind of interesting the effect that would have going forward and that we're taking that perspective from our lead character. But yeah, I think it's all really well executed. The Aaron Sorkin script is fantastic. Yeah, this is definitely one of the most solid dramas that we've gotten, that decade for sure.
Yeah, Jonathan, I don't know you that well, but this is my fucking pick, man. So thanks a lot.
Let's go.
You made someone angry already.
I'm done.
But it's okay. I'll be fine. No, yeah, perfect sports movie. Basically a perfect movie. The Sorkin script is good, but it's also like the perfect scenario where Sorkin is being like kind of reined in by a capable director, right? You get that with like The Social Network. You get that with Steve Jobs. You get that here. And it really just gave us so many quotable lines. It's a movie that shouldn't work, that does. It is Brad Pitt is the master of eating on screen. He's so good at just eating in the middle of a conversation. Everything I watch this probably once every like 6 months. I think it's the best movie that came out this year. And one of the contenders for the best of the decade. So sick that I don't have it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Veronica, we're going to go to you next. So what is the first film you're going to put on the board?
Yeah, I do feel like there's kind of an upper tier of movies that, everyone loves, I love. I don't have too many, hot takes on this year. I think that the popular ones I'm also a big fan of. So I think I'll go ahead and grab one of those. That should probably be a vote getter. I was rewatching it. Literally, I didn't get to see the last about 15 minutes because I had to hop onto here. But that would be Ryan Gosling in Drive. Think that's
yeah.
I'll take it in action horror. This is, like I said, was literally watching this minutes ago. Ryan Gosling, fantastic. We had a Ryan Gosling draft. We got to talk about him and his movie star persona a lot. He's on kind of another level here. He was just able to really lock into this kind of thing and show everybody. But I mostly love this movie for the supporting cast. Like, everyone knows Oscar Isaac's my guy. But you got him backed up with Bryan Cranston, Ron Perlman, Albert Brooks, Carey Mulligan, Christina Hendricks popping in there. Like, it's just such a cool cast. It's something that doesn't, reinvent the wheel in terms of heist movies, but just does it so well and which with such a strong sense of style. The music, the action is very tangible and tactile. The just the style. He's got this cool fucking coat, and it just kind of has everything that you could want in this sort of a great like L.A. Style action movie. So yeah, this one is I think it's a pretty popular one overall. I think this and Moneyball both are like really have their fans, and I am one of them. So yeah, Drive for me.
It's a great pick. I guess I'll speak on it really quick. Yeah, you kind of that was what eligible in at least two categories, so good pick there, or three categories, I guess. Yeah, I mean, Refn really kind of crossed over into the mainstream with this one, but he didn't do it at the expense of his style. He actually kind of like brought his style into the mainstream, and it really caught on for a while. I feel like everyone was playing that soundtrack for a long time in the early tens, and yeah, you've just got like great Carey Mulligan performance, great Oscar Isaac performance, Albert Brooks. I mean, Ryan Gosling goes without saying, but really just playing every actor to their strengths, and yeah, it's great. It's got some great gore. I love Drive. That was probably my third pick, so I'm screwed.
I haven't seen this movie in forever, but I know I really liked it. And I would have been surprised if this didn't get taken in the first round. So it's fitting that these are the first two off the board. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's great. Certainly not going to be the only time Ryan Gosling is mentioned on today's draft, just to let everybody know. So, yeah, great pick, Veronica. Wonderful pick. All right, Aaron, your turn. So you said
Right.
your first film got picked, your third pick got taken, so I guess you're going to put your second pick first?
I'm actually not, because I think I need to play a little strategically here, and I don't know if my second pick will go as quickly as this pick. So I'm just gonna throw caution to the wind here and go for it. Follow my gut. But it is one of the best films of 2011. It's one of the best directors working today. Following up one hit with another hit. Not at the box office per se. I'm not taking it in that. But it is a hit critically, and I will be taking it in Oscar nomination. I'm going to be grabbing The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Fuck.
Which is just an amazing David Fincher film. The fact that he did this, The Social Network, and Gone Girl in like a 3-year span just shows that he's one of the greatest of all time. I actually haven't read the source material or seen the original films, so maybe I'm a fake fan, but I did rewatch this while going down a little Fincher rabbit hole, and it just really holds up so well. He makes like as close to technically perfect films as you can get. So yeah, and it's got some really brutal scenes in there too. The Rooney Mara performance is obviously amazing, but the torture scene is like crazy that was released in mainstream theaters at that time. And there's just some really dark stuff in this film. Happy to have a Fincher on the list. And yeah, gotta go with The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which was probably fourth or fifth for me, but I'm playing strategy now. It's all strategy.
Not my favorite Fincher, but a great entry in his filmography. The Rooney Mara performance is an all-timer. I think it's so sick that she got nominated for an Oscar for this. And Daniel Craig is a wonderful scene partner, as he always is with any project that he attaches himself to. One of my favorite opening credit sequences in any film ever as well. The Reznor and Ross music, the imagery, the bleakness of it all, the violence. It's really, really great. It's one that I haven't seen in many, many years, but it's one that I'm surely going to revisit sometime soon. And I'm bummed that they didn't continue with these actors in these roles. I know that they did that one with Claire Foy a few years later, and I didn't even bother watching it because of how much I love this version of the material, but yeah, it's a wonderful pick.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that I think I would put this in the middle of Fincher's filmography for me, and I still think it is incredible. And to your point, not that this is surprising for Fincher, but him doing this right after The Social Network is just a bonkers choice to do. Just insane. So I would have definitely taken this in the next round for sure.
This is a blind spot for me. I really like Social Network. I love Gone Girl, but the one in the middle just scooted past me somehow. So it's been on my watch list forever. I was hoping to get to it this week beforehand, but didn't have a chance. So yeah, I know it comes highly recommended, and I'll definitely make sure to get to it soon.
Sweet.
Brian, I think I know what your first pick's gonna be.
Well, yeah, I kind of have to do it. Okay, so this film is actually eligible for multiple categories, which is crazy, because it has pretty much everything in it. I think the only category that it wouldn't be eligible for likely is comedy, even though there is comedy in it, but you don't think of this movie when you think of comedy. So the first film that I'm going to put on the board is my personal favorite film of 2011, but I have to preface this before everybody jumps down my throats. This is not the best movie of the year, so I just need to address that right before I put it on the board. So my first film on my team will be Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, my favorite film of 2011. First and foremost, J.K. Rowling can gladly fuck off. Need to get that out there right now.
Yep.
The movie, however, the movies, I adore this series very much. This has been my favorite film franchise since I was a kid. I have a Harry Potter sleeve that I'm in the midst of working on right now. It's currently paused due to funds, but this series means the absolute world to me, especially these movies. I grew up loving them. I've loved them even more as I gotten older. I think that this final one is regarded by a lot of people as maybe the strongest of the series, tied with possibly Prisoner of Azkaban. I think that this wrapped up everything very nicely. It's very epic and grand and thrilling and exciting, and this is one of those films that I was alluding to earlier, to where it's one of the most memorable theater going experiences of my life. I went to go see this back when midnight screens were a thing. I went with so many people in my circle. I was so high on energy. I saw this movie probably like 8 times in the theater. I was obsessed with this when it came out. This was a huge deal for me. And when it ended, I'm like, I can't believe that this important chapter of my life is now over. So to me, this is how you wrap up a film series on a strong note. There's so much to love about this movie. I watched this multiple times. I try to watch these films once every single year. And this is, I debate between this and Prisoner of Azkaban. Which one is my favorite? They swap back and forth every single day. But to me, this is the crown achievement of the Harry Potter series. And the fact that it was regarded by so many as one of the best films of that year was really exciting too, because, you know, you look at the year as a whole and blockbusters aren't as embraced by critics as they are by audiences. So the fact that this was a critical darling, a box office success, got nominated for a bunch of awards, says so much about how special this film was. So I am going to put that on the board, and I'm going to put it in box office, considering the fact that it was the highest grossing movie of that year. So yeah, that's my first film on the board.
You're doing you. You're being true to yourself. I don't.
It'd be really funny if your next pick was like Midnight in Paris.
No,
you're just taking like
I do like that movie, but no, movies. That won't be.
Building a team of problematic faves.
Yeah.
Not faves, but yeah. I was so obsessed with like the first 4 Harry Potter movies. I think I really watched them on a loop, and just at some point it became like, I think from 5 and on, I saw them when they came out. I just didn't have like that big of a relationship to them anymore. But it is a like great conclusion to a completely epic series that, you know, was kind of a miracle that they pulled it off as well as they did. So yeah, it definitely makes sense if you have that connection to it, that this was a momentous event for everyone involved. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a big vote getter, I think, too.
Yeah. I love the Harry Potter movies. I didn't think it would be taken now, even though I probably should have guessed. And this is probably David Yates' last good movie.
No, it is his last good movie.
Pain Hustlers. No. It's the best movie of all time.
Nobody even watched that, myself included.
I also didn't watch it. I'm just lying.
It's bad. I watched it. It's bad. We can confirm.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Yates Harry Potter films. Brian, you rightfully called me out on giving this like a 3 out of 10 on Letterboxd. I think I was just rewatching it in not a good circumstance and did not enjoy my time. I'm
You
sure if I
said three
saw it
out
in
of
a
10?
theater. Yeah,
Out of
I was
3 out of 10?
I
Holy
must have
shit.
been in a bad mood. I
God
must have been in a bad mood. I don't know.
damn.
I'm not saying I stand by that. I'm saying at the
Jeez.
time my
Got
viewing
Voldemort
experience
here.
of that movie was a yeah. But I remember seeing it in theaters and it was awesome. And then just I don't know, watching it 4 years ago in my friend's basement was not awesome. But I also hold this against it. It's the beginning of the trend of the split in two YA novel movie. This and the previous film. Can't really
Yeah,
defend
but
that. Can't
yeah,
defend
but
that.
this was the
Fair.
one exception to it, I think, because that book is really long. You really couldn't do it in one movie. It just wouldn't have worked at all. Maybe you could have tried, but I don't think it would have landed.
I hear you. I hear you. I'm happy you got this. You deserved it.
Yeah, I because I kept thinking to myself today in preparation for the draft, I'm like, if I don't put it on the board, is it even going to be put on the board at all? Like, I know that Jonathan is a Harry Potter fan, but I don't know if like he would have put this on his team. But I'm really glad that I got it this early on. I would have felt like I was doing a disservice to myself if I didn't put this on the board.
And good for you for drafting the last Harry Potter project that's ever existed. There was never any more after. There's not going to
Right.
be any
That is
more.
correct.
It ends here.
Exactly. Okay, I get to put another film on the board. This is really difficult because I got my number one priority and I could really just go in any direction going forward. I'm going to do a really fun pick that I think is going to be a good vote getter for sure. I just don't know what category to put this in. It's tough.
There's a few big movies that really overlap.
Yeah, I've noticed that looking over all these films and everything. Okay, I'm going to go to Oscar nom, and I'm going to put nominated for 2 Oscars, Bridesmaids, which, to be
Wow.
honest,
Yeah.
on paper, you wouldn't expect this to be nominated for Oscars. And the fact that it got nominated for 2 pretty big ones says so much about this. Not my favorite comedy of 2011, admittedly. I've always liked Bridesmaids. I'm not quite in the it's a masterpiece route quite yet, but I do think that in terms of studio comedies that have come out in the last 15 years, this is definitely one of the stronger ones to come out because it is something that, again, similar to something like Harry Potter, it was so embraced by the audiences and by the critics, the cinephiles, the casual moviegoers. And I also think that the screenplay by Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo is so sharp and so clever, but it also has a nice touch of heart sprinkled throughout it. And the jokes still find a way of holding up 15 years later. But I think the coolest thing about this movie, I brought up that it got 2 Oscar nominations. The screenplay was nominated, but the fact that the Academy was like, okay, we're going to nominate all these serious performances, and then we're going to add Melissa McCarthy for Bridesmaids in this, to me, that is so base, that is so inspired. We don't get comedic performances nominated for Oscars really ever. Prior to Ryan Gosling getting nominated for Barbie just a few years ago, I can't tell you the last comedic performance that was nominated. It was probably this, to be honest. Straight up comedic performance, it must have been this. Honestly, it's one of those films that anytime I do watch it, I find so much enjoyment out of it, even though, again, it's not my favorite comedy to come out of this year. But it's really great. It holds up very well. I love it very much. And the whole sequence on the plane might be my favorite segment of the entire movie. So, yeah, that's going to be my pick. Also, shout out to Maya Rudolph, who is Mrs. Paul Thomas Anderson. Had to shout her out. So, yeah, Bridesmaids is going to be my pick for Oscar nom.
Solid.
For Oscar nom, that's an interesting strat. That's an interesting strat. I'm trying to get at what you're playing here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like
Another big
comedy is probably the move. I don't know.
He's got something up his sleeve,
other
and I'm
priorities.
trying to block him. Yeah.
Interesting.
I had a fantastic time when I went on my friend's bachelorette trip last year. I was like, we have to watch Bridesmaids. It's just like you just got to do it. And yeah, it's just it's besides just being hilarious, just the joke writing is insane and the performances and everything. But it's so like smart and well observed about like female relationships and the way that, you know, some pressure can come in when I mean the pressure of like a wedding and all of the things that you want to do and you want to make really nice and perfect, and you know, the way that people have to navigate that with financial realities and the history that you have with your friends and a new person coming into the group. It's just really smart about all of that and has just some of the funniest actresses who have ever worked together. So yeah, it's just always a great time to watch, go look back on this one.
The one shot where she's driving and then you see Melissa McCarthy in the car with all the dogs, that is so fucking funny. How many did you take? I took 9. I took 9.
I like even just the more passive aggressive comedy between Rose Byrne and Kristen Wiig. Like anytime.
Oh, Rose
like,
Byrne is
people don't change.
outstanding in this.
I think they do. Just all of that stuff is like just so delicious.
You look really ugly when you cry. I do not. I do not.
Am I remembering correctly? Is Tim Heidecker like the husband in this who speaks no lines?
Is he?
So.
Isn't he the person that Maya Rudolph is getting married to?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's fact check
I
that
don't know.
right now.
Could be. That's like the one thing I remember about this movie.
Tim Heidecker is in this movie.
Okay,
yeah, I think
cool.
he is.
I'm validated. This is when I was like, I was getting into movie watching seriously, and so I was trying to be a critic. So I think the one time I watched this was in like 2011, 2012, and it currently sits at like a 6 out of 10 on my letterbox. Like I was totally
That's
just
not a bad
being
rating.
like,
That's an average. That's like a C.
you know, I don't know. I was trying to be, I was watching too much YMS on YouTube and being like a total jerk. But no, I remember it fondly. I owe it a rewatch.
Good stuff.
Oh,
All right.
Is it my turn?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I do get my second pick, and I'm going to go for my second pick now. I don't know if this will be a big vote getter, but it's in my top 5 movies of all time, so I kind of think I have to take it. This is in drama. I'm going to be taking Terrence Malick's The Tree of Life, which is, I think, the closest to like showing us God that a filmmaker has ever gotten, if there is one. I feel like this is just like one of the most beautiful films ever made, one of the most thoughtful explorations of the meaning of life that has ever been committed to film. Terrence Malick as a whole, like I love his whole filmography. I know after this it gets a little wonky for people, but I think his films and his process is just so interesting. And there's some shots in this movie that rival like the most beautiful paintings ever made. Like this is probably the best shot movie I've ever seen. The shot of the hands around the baby's foot, it's just like every frame of painting sort of shit. So also could have taken this an Oscar nom, but I just think this is also another great Brad Pitt film from this year that was nominated for Best Picture. Jessica Chastain in this movie is amazing. Sean Penn's just kind of wandering around. That's probably the stuff that doesn't work as well for me, but it all comes together at the end in such an overwhelmingly emotional experience that I just can't deny how it makes me feel. I think this is a pretty great film, and I'm happy to have it.
Yeah, I went through what I think a lot of people go through with this movie, which is like the first time you watch it, you hear it's like amazing, and then you watch it and it's like pretty slow, not traditional in any sense, and you weren't prepared for it. And you're like, okay, like that was okay, that was cool, and then you never stop thinking about it again afterwards. And like I've only seen it once, so my letterbox rating probably reflects that. But I also bought the Criterion, and it's just waiting for me to rewatch
Criterion.
It's a great one. So this is one that I actually would have taken next, even if my rating doesn't reflect it, because I still have that desire to rewatch it.
I watched this for the first time last night, and yeah, I do feel like I need 5 to 6 business years to process it and speak intelligently about it. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're both saying. It pretty much blew me away. Yeah, I agree. It's got that reputation that I knew it wasn't going to be a super, linear, simple movie and everything. But yeah, just the impressionistic sort of style to it, and the way that you're just kind of thrown into things, and it doesn't really have much of a narrative for a while there. I think it all completely worked. It all completely came together for me. Definitely, yeah. I think that on rewatches and rewatches as you sort of go through different phases of life, and it would definitely affect you in different ways. But yeah, I think Brad Pitt and Jessica Chastain are both incredible. They both had a fantastic 2011. We already talked about Moneyball. And yeah, I just think that this is like a movie like that, when it has a reputation like that, it's usually pretty hard to live up to, but this one lived up to it.
It's been about 10 years since I've seen this movie. I wanted to rewatch it in preparation for this pod, but I just couldn't get around to it, unfortunately. Now that the Criterion sale is going on, I actually do plan on buying the Criterion for this. I was going to go to the store yesterday and pick it up, but then all these other things kept happening, so I wasn't able to get around to it. But yeah, Jonathan, you said it best. It's a movie that when you watch it initially, you hear all this praise and all this acclaim, and you're like, oh, it's slow. I see what it's doing, but it isn't quite sticking with me. But then it lingers with you the more and more time passes. And it's definitely one that I am excited to revisit. And Malik is a filmmaker that I admittedly haven't seen a ton from. I know that he hasn't made a lot of movies, but I haven't been exploring as much of his work as I would like to. But everything that I've seen from him, minus, I would say, one film, I like everything I've seen from him so far. So that's a promising sign. So yeah, I look forward to revisiting this when the time comes.
Nice. All right. My pick next. I think I'll go ahead and tackle box office. So my pick for that is going to be another movie I rewatched this week in preparation. I'm going to pick Super 8. J.J. Abrams. Super 8, which I am really hoping we get J.J. Abrams back in this mode when his movie comes out later this year, because I was so obsessed with this movie for like a while after it came out. I remember rewatching it a lot. My whole family liked it. I remember it was like, something we would all kind of agree on and sit down and watch. And I just hadn't revisited it for whatever reason, the last, I don't know, 5-6 years or so. And so I watched it again, and I was like, I'm sure it's good. Like it's got that whole Spielberg vibe, and we're having such a Spielberg year and everything. And I watched it, and I was like, this is like, it's like unimpeachable. It's like just so fucking good. It just really, it slaps, it hits all of the emotional moments. It hits the funny moments. It's got the fun sci-fi. Like I can't imagine anyone sitting down and not enjoying this or having a good time. It's got so much love for filmmaking. Explicitly in the text with the kids making their own little film, and the adorable way that they all slot into these different roles, and the way that filmmaking and recording life comes into play with the young boy and his mother who's died, and seeing her on film, and what that brings to feel like she's still there, and just the attachment there, and learning to let go in the end, like and just a lot of really cool alien stuff, really cool action stuff. The train crash sequence, I was worried when it got into more of the sci-fi, getting into the alien stuff. I was like, I don't remember if all this is really holds up, but the personal stuff is much more interesting, and I'm much more involved in that. But yeah, I think that this really perfectly holds up. The young cast is fantastic. Elle Fanning has been a star like her entire life. Joel Courtney is really great in this lead. Like he's giving that Spielberg face, which is just so this is obviously so indebted to that. I love Kyle Chandler in anything, and no exception in this. I think that this was one that I'm like so glad that it held up and was just as good as I remembered when it first came out.
One of the greatest line reads of all time comes from this movie, it's when he screams, "Production value!" It's such a beautiful film. I rewatched this last night. I hadn't seen it in forever, maybe since it came out, and oh my god, I fell in love with it again, like I did the first time. I love its homage to Spielberg and the classic films of that time period and everything, and this is still, and I know this isn't saying much because he hasn't directed a ton. I think that this is J.J. Abrams' best work behind the camera as a director, and I agree with you, Veronica. I really hope that he's able to recapture what made this film, and even like the Star Trek movie, and even Force Awakens to a degree, in his next film, which he's doing with Glenn Powell, which I'm very excited to see later this year. But yeah, everything that you said about it being an ode to filmmaking and storytelling, and how it's a commentary on letting go. spoiler alert for anyone listening. If you haven't seen the movie, that's your problem. The end of the movie, when he lets go of the locket, that is one of the saddest scenes I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, my heart sinks every time. Like, when I got to that end and I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to watch this. I want to just skip over this. But I couldn't. My eyes were just so locked in. I just couldn't take my eyes off it. It's a beautiful film. It's funny. It's scary. It's sad. It's intense. It's entertaining. It has everything that you want in a film. And, yeah, it's just wonderful. Also, great coming-of-age film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wanted this one pretty bad. Great pick. But yeah, I echo all of that. Great Amblin kind of entertainment going on here. I also have very special memories attached to this film because not only did I, want to be a filmmaker and watching this is like, oh, kids also want to be filmmakers. Like, it kind of made me feel seen in that way. Kids for years have wanted to be filmmakers. It really was, an eye-opening movie in that respect. But also, I don't know if anyone remembers this. Maybe I'm just talking into the void. But Best Buy used to have this deal where you could bring in DVDs and get $5 credits towards Blu-rays.
Yes.
If you traded in, do you remember this?
Mm-hmm,
this was
I do.
huge for me. So you could bring in 5 at a time. And I remember one of the first. This was early in my Blu-ray collecting days. One of the first movies I got was Super 8 with a slipcover, $10. Turn in that DVD. I got that shit for $5. It was just great. It was awesome. So yeah,
Amazing.
I love it on multiple levels.
That's a flex.
Yeah.
I saw Super 8 for the first time last week, and I'll be quick because I pretty much echo everyone's sentiment. But it did just make me continue to dislike Stranger Things like that much more. I'm not even a big Stranger Things fan. I stopped watching after like season 2, but it started to morph me into a hater a little bit. Not gonna lie. Great movie though. Great movie.
I liked your Letterboxd review where you were like, I can't believe this is the fucking kid from the Kissing Booth.
Yeah, had no clue. I was like, oh, he can act like that. I didn't know that. Good for him. Okay, my turn. On the turn, this works out great for me, personally. In comedy, gotta do it. You gotta do Crazy Stupid Love.
God damn it.
Let me just take that now, okay? A movie that has grown as time has gone on. I see that scene, I guess I won't spoil it. I see that scene circulating Twitter like every month without fail. And It always goes viral. It always goes viral. It's just the Ryan Gosling charm versus him in Drive, again, just showing he can do anything. This movie just it works too well, and it knows what it is, and it delivers on that, and it doesn't do anything more, and it doesn't have to, and it's perfect as it is. So I'll take that in comedy. Thank you, Brian.
You're welcome. Great film, wonderful film. That would have been my pick for comedy as well. Yeah, it's wonderful. We've talked about this movie a few times on the podcast with our romance draft, with our Gosling draft, and now here we are talking about it again. Great ensemble piece. I love how all the stories intertwine with one another and culminate in the end the way that it does. Yeah, this was the first time where I was like, oh, Ryan Gosling is more than just the guy from The Notebook. Because admittedly, I hadn't watched Lars of the Real Girl or Half Nelson at that point. I had only seen The Notebook, and I was like, oh, it's just Pretty Boy from The Notebook. But he was Pretty Boy in this, and he actually gave a really fantastic comedic performance in this. And he was just genuinely great, and this was obviously the start of his long-term partnership collaboration with Arizona's own Emma Stone. So love this movie so much. It's really great, and there's so many great line deliveries from every single cast member involved. I don't even know what my favorite line delivery is, but I think because I just thought about this today, the whole exchange outside the school after the parent-teacher conference, and Julianne Moore's just like, 9? Wow. Great movie. Love this movie very much.
This absolutely would have been my pick as well. Yeah, this is, we talked about Bridesmaids. I love that movie. That's like, a solid 8 out of 10. Crazy Stupid Love is like a 5-star movie for me. I just love it. Again, it's like something that like my whole family loved, and we definitely watched a lot. Yeah, definitely, Jonathan. That scene for sure. If I'm seeing the beginning of it, I gotta watch the entire thing.
Yep. Yep.
Right up until David Lindhagen shows up, just
David
crazy stuff.
Lindhagen.
David Lindhagen. Yeah, it's definitely Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, Julianne Moore. Like, give them all their flowers, but like Steve Carell is just, he does. We almost take it for granted, like he does this kind of thing so well, so often. But yeah, I don't know, just something he toes that line really well of being lovable and kind of a doofus, but also a little bit of bite, a little bit insidious, and yeah, just his dynamic with Ryan Gosling is fantastic. I love the script for it, just the plotting, the way that everything comes together. It's few movies pull that off successfully, and it really works here. So, and just so funny. Yeah, love this one so much.
I'm gonna let everyone have their love for this movie. I'm not gonna speak on it too much. I haven't watched it in a while, so I don't. It's not a 5-star movie for me. But I think half of that might be me holding it against Dan Fogelman for making Life Itself,
Fair.
which is just one of the most. It's like this movie if every decision was made wrong. So yeah, I owe it a rewatch for sure. Ryan Gosling's abs alone get a 10 out of 10, but yeah, good pick.
Seriously, it's like you're photoshopped.
It's perfect.
Classic.
So perfect. Okay. Let's see. I am going to get box office out of the way because I want to close out the box office mojo tab on my phone so I don't have to keep looking at it.
Good strategy.
I mean, when you look towards the top, besides Harry Potter, it's a lot of things I really don't care about. I mean, it includes my least favorite franchise ever in the Fast movies. I don't care about Sherlock Holmes. I like some others. I love this movie, so I'm just going to take Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Nice.
Can I talk to you about Brad Bird for a second?
Yes.
What y'all know about Brad Bird? The Incredibles?
Ray Gunn coming soon.
Ray Gunn coming this year. It doesn't matter if it's the worst movie ever. He's still on the Mount Rushmore of whatever. Whatever he wants to be on, that's where he is. I will never get over seeing this in the theater and watching him jump out of the window on the Abu Dhabi Tower. Like it still gives me chills when watching it, and it's the coolest and arguably one of the most underrated in my opinion because Christopher McQuarrie has taken over, rightfully so. He's done great stuff with it, but now I feel like this movie is under talked about. So I'll put its respect now.
I don't like that this movie gets the rep of after the tower sequence, it plummets, and that's the only memorable moment. The entire film is great from top to bottom.
Yeah,
It's
that's an
fantastic.
incorrect opinion.
And the fact that Brad Bird, who had only done animated films up until this point, made his transition to live action filmmaking, and he could have done something super small and intimate and like grounded. No, he opted to jump into one of the biggest franchises ever, direct this huge action spectacle, and the results were outstanding. This is not my favorite Mission Impossible. I love all the movies except for the second one. I'm a big defender of that series. I even thought the last one was very good, personally. I know it had its problems, but I was a big defender of that one. I think Ghost Protocol should get more celebration. I feel like more people should embrace it. Again, it's not the best Mission Impossible film, but it's one that doesn't deserve to be looked at as low tier in the entire series. So yeah, great pick. Wonderful film.
Yeah, this was my top pick here. So Jonathan just keeps taking them from me. You can have all the crazy, stupid loves you want, but don't touch my Ghost Protocol, man. This is
My bad.
fucked up. Yeah, no, I mean, if Fallout didn't exist, this movie would still have a 5-star masterpiece in it, right? The fact that it has 2 is crazy. But this movie is great. I think the only negative I can even like conjure up is like kind of Jeremy Renner being shoehorned in as like the new Ethan, right?
Yeah.
The new like the guy taking, but even that like it's so I don't know. There's so much other captivating stuff going on in this film, and it really also feels like the entry of Simon Pegg for the series to me. I know he's in the third one, but like he is such a scene stealer in this one, and the kind of like has become a prominent force in the later films, and I just love him as a side character. So, yeah, Tom Cruise, man, I hope he gets his Oscar. I know he's got the honorary one, but we'll see what Digger has going on. But yeah, he should have gotten one probably 5 times already.
He's
Yeah,
campaigning.
I
He's
agree.
running this year.
You think so?
I think so. I think he's gearing up to.
I,
Yeah, he's sprinting. Yeah, if he doesn't just run.
I have him down to win Best Actor
Okay,
until
cool,
proven
cool.
otherwise.
Yeah, I think if he wants it, it'll be his to take. They'll be like, yes, please, here, take your statue, sir. I am not a Mission Impossible girly. I don't know. I just never super got into them. I think I've seen this one at some point because I do love Brad Bird. But yeah, this is not a huge series for me. But I know that it's held up in pretty high quality for everyone who loves it. So good pick there. All right, and then it's my pick next. Let's see. My thought process here is that I think that 2 of the best comedies are off the board, so that one's getting a little light. So I'm like, I could go there, or I could pick a movie that I care about more. So I guess I'll do that because I there's one that I know that I want. Okay, I will go for Oscar nom. I'm going to take a franchise film, but the beginning of a franchise, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It's gonna be my pick here. I really love this series, this iteration of the series, this trilogy. I did really like the 4th one also that came out like a couple years ago, even though that kind of like fell to the wayside. No one really talks about it, but the trilogy itself I think is just fantastic. And you know, I always kind of had considered Dawn, the second one in the series, to be my favorite, and it probably still is, but on my last rewatch of Rise, I was like, this, you know, I had just thought of it as like the origin, but it really this movie is a full meal in and of itself. And if they had never made another one, it's really ambitious. It's like, you know, I think there's so many big budget popcorn movies that like claim to smuggle in some like political underlying message or have that sort of basis, but I like this one. I genuinely think like backs it up. Like I really do think that Caesar is such an incredible creation. He like genuinely functions as like a righteous revolutionary leader in this movie, and I think it really stands on business in terms of, you know, talking about the oppressed rising up, and it doesn't pull its punches. And you know, I think that you can see that this was, you know, something that I would maybe degrade as like the Marvelization of blockbuster movies, where like everything kind of has to be quippy and everything kind of has to either lead to the next thing or end somewhat, you know, inoffensively. Like this one it puts Caesar through the fucking ringer. Like it is a bleak movie at times, and I just think that it earns everything that it's going for. You know, his relationship to James Franco's character, it just makes you see how, like, you know, his connection to him is actually something that he does just have to like put to the side and move on from, because he is just failing to protect him, failing to you know, stand up for him and his kind, his people. And we get to see all of that play out over Andy Serkis doing motion capture, just the best to ever do it. Yeah, I just think that it's a perfect match. I just think it really stands out in this time as like a blockbuster franchise that is just like, I think will hold up for forever. I just think it's so smart, so exciting, great filmmaking. Yeah, this one is just so huge for me.
These movies are all good. That's my opinion. I love the Caesar trilogy. We talk about it too much, actually, in my personal life, in conversations that stay with the movie, and then in conversations that talk about the attractiveness of Caesar as he progresses through the movies, for which Caesar is hot. We can all agree it's a good-looking monkey. Ape.
Caesar's
chimp.
hot.
Guys, thank you. Thank you for standing with me on this.
I'm glad I
like
have
this
some
movie.
freaks on the podcast, because I was lambasted for thinking that the Willem Dafoe fish from Finding Nemo was hot. So, you know, I'm
yeah,
glad
he's
people-
hot too.
Everyone
Yeah.
thinks that Gil is hot.
Absolutely.
So.
I
10
didn't,
out of
got
10
scars.
I didn't mock you for that.
The reaction online was split. Some people were in my corner and some were not. So
Don't worry, I was in your corner for that one.
Yeah,
Thank
Gil's
you.
hot, Caesar's hot, and everyone's hot.
yes.
I really like this movie too. I mean, it feels this is different director than the next two. Who took over? The Batman guy.
Matt
Yeah,
Reeves.
Matt Reeves took
Matt
over.
Reeves. Yeah, sorry. But this is Rupert something, right?
Rupert
Rupert
Wyatt. I
Wyatt.
think.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm getting all the names wrong. Yeah, no, it feels a little tonally different than the next two. I think Dawn is like a near masterpiece.
Yeah.
I think War, I'm a little softer on than most people, just because I think it gets a little too serious and like weirdly, I don't know, Holocausty. But I do love Dawn, and I like this one too. It's like I think when I look at the trilogy as a whole, how light this one feels is kind of, in comparison, it kind of like makes me think it's an uneven trilogy. But I do like all of the films in their own right, and I even like the new one, the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I thought that was pretty solid. So yeah, I'm in on these movies. I think the effects work is great, and they've been recognized for that. The one thing you can say about War, and that I can't even deny, is that it is like probably the best CGI in maybe cinema history, just with how seamless the blend is. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the trilogy as well. I also really liked Kingdom. I would say that Dawn or War are probably my favorite, but this is a very good introduction to the series. And, you know, a lot of people talk about this online. Chills during that sequence where Caesar screams no to Draco Malfoy. So, yeah, really enjoyed that moment. Enjoyed this movie. Very good film. Very underrated trilogy of movies for sure.
Also love the meme where it's like me and my partner at a movie theater when I'm going to see a second movie, and it's like time to go home, and Caesar is home. That's definitely me when I'm telling my boyfriend that, like, nope, I'm seeing 3 movies today. Gotta go. Walk into the AMC because Caesar is home. All right, next up we have
Am I
Aaron.
up?
Yep.
Okay. I've thought a lot about this because there's two things are getting light now, and there's two pivotal ways to go. But I think the lighter of the two categories I kind of need to get right now is comedy, and so I'm gonna target that one. I just want to say I did really want to take Your Sister's Sister, but that did not have a theatrical run in 2011 in the United States.
Oh, really?
Ran
I
in
had that on
2012.
my short list.
I'd be taking that right now if I could, but I can't. But shout out to Lynn Shelton, Gone Too Soon, great filmmaker, and a great Emily Blunt performance. Rosemary DeWitt, Mark Duplass, just a really charming indie comedy. But my second pick, which also could be taken in action horror, but I'm going to take it here. I'm going to take Attack the Block, the Joe Cornish film, which is a great action horror sci-fi coming of age, I'd argue, film about an alien invasion in South London. Joe Cornish, I believe, works very closely with Edgar Wright, and it has that really light, fun feeling to it of that the Cornetto trilogy and those initial films. It's also got Nick Frost in it for good measure. It's the film that gave us John Boyega, which is valuable because, 4 years later he would be in The Force Awakens. And he's just a great actor in his own right. But yeah, this movie's just fun. This is when I remember being like, I watched this in 2011 and I was like, okay, this is the type of movie I like. Like, I think I watched Scott Pilgrim and hadn't really located my taste yet, but then seeing Attack the Block and be like, these feel similar and they're having the same kind of fun. I was like, that's what I like. And then I had fun with it all the way up until Deadpool, and then that kind of ruined it, and then my taste kind of shifted. But no, this is a great sci-fi action film that really just reminds me of that. Out of all the films I've chosen here, this reminds me of how exciting it was to be getting into film when I was 13, 14 in 2011. This was also a movie that I got $10, $5 off for turning in a DVD at Best Buy. So
Nice.
I unfortunately have never seen this film. It's been a big blind spot of me for years, and I
thought I was taking it from you.
Nope. Unfortunately, this is one that I haven't seen, so it's all yours. It's one that I've been wanting to watch forever. I have no idea why I haven't watched it. I've had many opportunities to watch it, and I should have watched it for this podcast, but I didn't even think about this film, quite frankly. I forgot this was a 2011 movie. So happy to see it again mentioned here on the pod today, especially, early on in your team as opposed to it just being at the end with like your wild card pick and everything. So yeah, I know this is a very beloved film and I'm excited to watch it when I get around to doing so.
Same here. It's been on my list forever, but just haven't
Oh
gotten a
no,
chance
has
to.
no one seen it? Oh no.
Jonathan?
Jonathan, have you seen it?
I've never seen it.
Okay,
I've
I'm
never
out here
seen it.
repping. I'm repping
please
Attack
do.
the Block. Everyone, go watch Attack the Block. It's so well made and sick and fun and brutal. Like it's like you think there's not stakes, and then all of a sudden there's fucking stakes. It doesn't pull any punches. It's really fun. Yeah, I guess I'm the only cheerleader here. I should have taken it at the end. Now no one's fucking seen it. But. Yeah, Attack the Block. Really awesome movie. If you like the Cornetto trilogy, if you like Scott Pilgrim, if you like sci-fi, check it out.
Sweet. Okay, we're back to me. I'm at the turn, so I get to put 2 films on the table. I think I will go. I think I'm gonna go to drama next. And I'm going to put a film that is very critically beloved, but one that unfortunately doesn't get as much discussion as it should, especially now, considering that, this filmmaker has put out some of the best films of the last 10 to 15 years. It has 2 of the best actors that we have ever. I am going to put on the board Steve McQueen's Shame in drama. I think that this movie is absolute perfection, despite the fact that it is one of the hardest watches ever for me. It follows a sex addict basically at his lowest point, trying to heal himself, trying to get better, but he gets stuck in this path of continuing these sexual escapades. Michael Fassbender's performance, it might honestly be my favorite performance that he's ever given. And I think that he's an actor that we've nominated him for many awards. He's been nominated for 2 Oscars. I don't think that he gets as much discussion as he should. I think he is honestly up there for my favorite actors ever. He hasn't done a lot that has wowed me these last few years, but this early period of his career where he was starting to put himself out there, he was delivering great performance one after the other. And then you have Carey Mulligan, who plays his sister, also delivering a firehouse performance. And a lot of people talk about this when talking about Shame. There's a sequence in the movie where she's singing in the club, New York, New York, and it's one of the more beautiful and moving moments of the entire film. It's just a beautiful exploration of an addict's struggles, and it felt so raw and so real. And I also think it's the best thing that Steve McQueen has directed. And I really like everything except for the most recent film that he directed. I think Hunker is a really great debut. 12 Years a Slave is masterful. Widows is extremely underrated. And then Blitz, it exists. But all in all, Shame is a wonderful film from this year, and I don't know where any of you stand on it, if you even have seen it. I didn't snoop your letterboxes or anything when doing research for this pod, so I could be the only one that has seen this movie. We'll have to see, but yeah, I'm going to put Shame on the board in drama.
Brian, what about the Small Axe series? Have you seen any of that?
Yeah.
I did see that. Lovers Rocks would be my favorite of that bunch. But also, speaking of John Boyega, Red, White, and Blue.
Red, White, and Blue.
Outstanding.
It's also very good.
He should have been nominated and won an Emmy for that, but he wasn't even nominated, which is crazy.
Damn.
They didn't know what to do with that series, if it was TV movies or a series or, it should have gotten so much more love. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
No, Shame's great. Shame is awesome. This is one that I probably just didn't prioritize because I haven't seen it in years. But I remember watching it and being kind of disturbed, but also empathetic. Like the scene on the subway really got to me.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember really what happens in it. I just remember the feeling it gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Great pick. And you see Michael Fassbender's penis.
What more do you want?
I think this movie is a knockout. I love this movie. I was hoping to get it with my wild card. I haven't seen it in a while, and I remember when a bunch of people were over and we're just deciding to like have a movie night. Some people wanted to see Shame just because they heard it was great, and I was the only one who was seeing it. And I was like, guys, we cannot watch Shame together. This is not like a like 10 friends gather together eating popcorn with each other. I was like, you guys don't know what this movie actually is. So that's always stuck in my brain. I haven't seen this in a while, but I love this movie.
It's been on my list for a while. I haven't gotten to it, even though I love his other work and everything. Yeah, Widows especially is so good. But yeah, I will get to that. It's my great shame that I haven't seen it.
Okay, I get to put another film on the board. This is really tough.
Don't do it. Don't do it to me.
I don't know what you're referring to. Oh man. I think I'm gonna go comedy next. Yeah, I'm gonna do comedy. Oh my god, I'm between two. I'm between one that is legitimately hilarious and then one that is both hilarious and heartbreaking. So I'm stumped between these two.
Yeah, the laugh out loud comedy versus the dramedy is always a tough
Yeah,
choice.
this is really tough. Now, granted, the laugh out loud comedy does have some drama in it, but not to the extent of the dramedy that I'm alluding to.
Kung Fu Panda
I can't
2?
believe you're stuck between The Hangover Part 2 and Horrible Bosses right now.
Oh, you know what? I remember seeing both of those opening weekend in the theater with my dad, and I had a great time with both of them. I actually think
You
Horrible
laughed, you
Bosses
cried.
I think Horrible Bosses is actually a very funny movie, personally.
It would be
But
in
that's
line
not-
with your picks because Kevin Spacey's in it.
No, it's not going to be on the board. Instead, I am going to put, for comedy, I am going to put 50-50, which I recently drafted on our most recent draft, the Seth Rogen draft. This is one of my favorite dramedies that I've seen in a very long time. I loved this when it came out. I rewatched it just very recently for the previous draft that we recorded, and I really admire the blend of humor and heart. I'm a sucker for movies like that, even though I will admit that it's very hard to beautifully balance these tones because once you shift into the other tone, it could feel very jarring. To me, it doesn't come off like that with this movie. I think that it has wonderful performances, a great blend of comedy and drama, like I said, a really smart screenplay, and it's beautifully directed by Jonathan Levine, who obviously has worked with Seth Rogen many times after this. I also think that this might be my favorite Joseph Gordon-Levitt performance. He's so good in this. My heart breaks for him every time I watch this movie because he's just one of the most likable dudes out there, and to see him going through this pain of battling this cancer that he doesn't even know if he's going to beat is a really scary thing, but it's also just a really beautifully hopeful film about embracing the time that you have and surround yourselves with the people that love you the most. And yeah, I just think that it's a film that doesn't get as much attention as it deserves, and it's fantastic. So 50-50 is going to be my pick for comedy because even though it is a sad movie, it's also really fucking funny. Everything with Seth Rogen is just genius. The sequence where he's at the art gallery and he discovers something happening, and he's just like, I fucking nailed that cunt. Can you believe that? I don't usually talk like that. It's genius. Love this movie.
I love that your Seth Rogen impression borders on Cookie Monster. It's really great.
Yeah, well, I try my best.
Whoa.
Yeah, I talked about this one a little bit on the Seth Rogen draft. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I do remember really liking it. Yeah, everything you said about it sounds wonderful.
I also enjoyed this film when I saw it. Emotional. Joseph Gordon-Levitt really shaved his head for that role. That's pretty impressive. And yeah, it was one of the first times where we don't talk about Joseph Gordon-Levitt anymore, though. It was one of the times where we got to see Seth Rogen go serious. And then he obviously did that in Steve Jobs and The Fabelmans also. So great performance there. And then also, oddly enough, this movie introduced me to Radiohead. Because he's like jogging to High and Dry, and I was like, I like
Yes,
that
he
song.
is.
Yeah. So
Also, going back to Seth Rogen for a second before Jonathan gives his thoughts, just you wait until you see what he does in the infight, because holy shit.
I'm
He's
excited.
incredible.
I'm seeing it on 35 or it's at the Philly Film Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm seeing it on film, so I'm excited.
Nice.
Nice.
I was convinced I had seen this movie because I know the poster so well. I've never seen this.
Oh.
I've never seen 50/50. I don't know how. This just feels like a movie I would have seen, but I haven't. So the poster is recognizable. That's my opinion on it. I hear it's good though. It's on my watch list.
All right, back to Aaron.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it to me.
Well,
Do it to him, Aaron.
I really, again, I'm going to say, because I couldn't take your sister's sister, I really wanted to take The Raid next, but that also was not released in the United States in 2011. So
Oh, it wasn't?
I don't think it's eligible.
Oh.
Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me not to do,
That was
Jonathan?
in the back of my head. No, but
Okay.
damn
Okay.
it. Okay.
Yeah, so I will not be taking The Raid, even though I would have taken that in action horror. Instead, in box office, I'm going to take. I heard a little bit of hate being thrown around for this film and franchise a couple minutes ago, but this is by far
No,
the
Yeah,
crown
don't do it.
jewel.
Go
the
ahead.
crown jewel
No.
in the Fast and Furious
No!
series. In box office, I will be taking Fast 5.
No. Fuck off.
Which is an incredible film. It's an incredible film. It's got one of the best heist sequences in the third act. It's got, some people are partial to Furious 7. I think this is like leaps and bounds better. It is made with heart. It is the only film where the family message of the franchise resonates. And really, it's just impressive that a fifth movie in a franchise could be this good and reignite a series to then have as many bad follow-ups as it continued to have. But, for a series that started bad and is kind of seeming to end bad, the fact that it peaks in the middle is kind of unheard of and really cool. And I really like Fast 5. I think, unironic 8 out of 10.
This is the best of the entire series. This is one of my favorite action films of all time. I'm not even a diehard Fast and Furious fan, admittedly. I enjoy the movies and everything, but this movie genuinely rocks. It's so fucking good. This was my introduction to the series. I went to the theater with my dad to go watch it, and I was just like, oh my God, that was fucking awesome. And the fact, too, that this was essentially not a race movie, it was a heist movie deep down, and there was only one racing sequence in the film. That to me is so cool of how they're like, we're gonna push aside what we've been doing for the last 4 movies and do something completely different while still having the same essence and vibe of the movies prior to this. But this movie is so good on its own and in the franchise. It's wonderful. I love it. I completely agree that this is the best. And the fact that there are people that are like, oh, Furious 7 is the best. And I like that movie, but this is leaps and bounds the strongest. And it also introduced us to Dwayne Johnson as Hobbs. And you could say whatever you want about The Rock as an actor, but he is fucking awesome as this character, especially in this film. He is really great in this. So, yeah, big fan of Fast 5. That's a great pick. That was going to be my pick in action horror because I didn't think that anyone was going to want to take it because Jonathan said that he's not a fan. I know for a fact Veronica doesn't give a shit about these movies. So I was like, oh, maybe Aaron will take it, but maybe not. Nope, I was wrong.
Well, I
I'm
thought
not-
your reaction was that you were like, no, don't take that. That movie sucks.
No, that
But
movie is
no,
fucking
okay, cool,
great.
Cool.
I'm not a Fast and the Furious girly, but even I know that that's the best one. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll clarify. This is a good one. This is a good one. Furious 7, I enjoy. Tokyo Drift is nostalgic but bad. But I just hate what this franchise has become.
Me too.
And it
Should have
has
stopped at
tainted,
7. Should have stopped at
yeah,
7.
it's just tainted my view on like the entirety of it, and I never want to see them again. But I know this one is good. I watched it in the theater. I enjoyed it. So that's what I'll say. Good pick, I guess.
Thanks.
All right, Veronica, back to you.
next up, okay. Looking at my team, I think I've got a pretty good amount of crowd pleasers so far. So I think I'll go ahead and take one that is probably not a big vote getter. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this movie, but it's a personal favorite of mine. Already mentioned that Jessica Chastain had a fantastic 2011. She was kind of everywhere. And probably the lesser known film that she was in this year was, it's going to be my drama pick. I'm going to Take Shelter, starring Jessica and Michael Shannon. It's directed by Jeff Nichols. This is a drama, a bit of a psychological thriller, where Michael Shannon plays this husband and father who is having these visions of sort of an apocalyptic storm. And, he's not sure, he's had mental health issues in his family before. He's not sure if it's like that manifesting or if he's genuinely having some supernatural awakening. And yeah, just the unraveling therein is just, Michael Shannon, I think, is so, I don't know if he's underrated. I do think that everybody likes him, but it seems like he's kind of had like small parts in big movies or big parts in small movies, and like I would just love for him to have like a definitive, huge moment where everyone just gives him his flowers, even though he seems like a very shy guy who probably would not like all the attention, but I think he deserves it. This has, a really good supporting cast, Shea Wiggum and Kathy Baker, and it's just Jessica Chastain, always fantastic, giving a wonderful performance here, and like this juxtaposed with Tree of Life and another big movie that she's in this year, she was just like completely on fire. And is, one of our greatest working actors today. This one is, I haven't seen it in a while, but like I was just looking up some stuff about it and I was like, I feel like I remember all this movie. It was just one of those that like kind of really burrows into your brain. This is my favorite Jeff Nichols, I think, by a pretty good margin. And I like a lot of his other movies too, but yeah, this is a really great one to check out that I definitely don't hear people talking about, but I think that they should.
Yeah, this also was this the year before? Did he do Mud?
I think that was the year after this. Yeah.
Year after this? Right, yeah. So kind of just that kind of took off in like the awards conversation too, if I remember correctly. Yeah, just kind of the introduction of a massive talent with Jeff Nichols, who has been quiet lately. I was a big fan of the Bike Riders, but I don't know many other people who loved that movie. But yeah, no, I remember watching this again, way back. I think a lot of these movies I got on $5 Blu-ray because of the Best Buy sale. But this was definitely one of them too. And they're all in that period of like, I remember them and I have strong feelings about them, but I don't like, if you ask me to say one thing in the plot, I probably couldn't. Like Take Shelter is one of those, but I know he goes to a town hall and he's very passionate at one point or something, right? So
he has that fantastic scene. He has like that meltdown at the like church event kind of thing, and it's just really Michael Shannon's just unreal.
I watched this in high school for the first time, and I haven't seen it since. I like Jeff Nichols. I'm excited to see what he does next. I liked the Bike Riders. I didn't quite enjoy it as much as his other work. I think Mud is my favorite thing that he's directed, without doubt. But I like Jeff Nichols. I think he's an underrated filmmaker. And yeah, Michael Shannon, I agree. Very underrated talent. One of our great character actors, if you want to call him that. And yeah, it's a very good film.
I ride for Jessica Chastain. I've never seen this movie, though. It's on the list. It's on the list. Eyes of Tammy Faye. Let me talk to you about it.
She's good, yeah. She's good in it.
I've met Jessica Chastain like 5 times.
Really?
You guys are
I've met her many times. She's the sweetest.
I'm jealous.
She's the nicest celebrity I think I've ever met in my entire life, because she takes her time and talks with every single person, which she does not have to do at all. You have an Oscar, you don't have to take your time to talk to us nerd dwellers or whatever, but she does, and I appreciate that about her.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the turn. So we're going theatrical, not festival.
Correct.
Okay. So I was gonna go for Cabin in the Woods, but that's 2012 by that scenario. So I will go with an action horror, one that I thought was 2010, but now that I'm looking at it, its theatrical was in April 2011 because Letterboxd always changes it.
Yeah.
So an action horror, a category I will take Insidious. The first one, James Wan. Stop fucking around. Stop fucking with me. All right? Stop producing so much and start directing again. I don't even remember the last one you did. Maybe it was Malignant, or Aquaman. That doesn't count. You need to get back in the director's chair with the horror movie and stop producing so much. Okay? I respect it, but selfishly I need it. And Insidious, I just think is great. And it started off 10 more movies that I don't really care about. But this one is good.
Yeah, I think we might have had this realization at the same time, Jonathan, because I also saw that it was on the list and was just added it to my list, and then you snatched it out from under me. So yeah, I guess I did see this in 2011. So huge movie year for me, because Insidious was a huge movie for me that just like got me back into new horror. I think I was watching a lot of the classics because I was giving myself like my own film education. But I think all the stuff coming out was like the Platinum Dunes remakes at the time that I was watching those. And so Insidious coming out and it being like this cheap film made by the guy who made Saw, but it was a ghost movie, like a ghost story. It was just kind of mind blowing. And then 2 years later, we get the 1-2 punch of Insidious Chapter 2 and The Conjuring. And that just kind of recontextualizes the whole genre for the decade to come. So yeah, Insidious, pretty important 2010 movie that was released theatrically in 2011.
I haven't seen it in a while. I remember liking, not loving it, but it's got my girl Rose Byrne again. She was also having pretty busy this year, so love that.
I don't like Insidious at all.
Whoa.
I don't like these movies at all.
Slander.
This movie, I remember when it came out, and everybody in my class, my 7th grade class, this came out April 2011. I was in 7th grade. Everyone was like, oh my God, this was the scariest fucking movie ever. And then I watched it, and I'm like, that shit didn't fucking scare me at all. And I've tried many times to give this movie another go, and it does nothing for me, which is so sad because I love the concept. I like James Wan when he does horror. I love Rose Byrne. I love Patrick Wilson. I love everything this movie's going for, but I hate the way that it's executed, and it just hasn't worked for me yet. Maybe one day it will, but for right now, I just don't like the Insidious films at all, and I don't understand why they keep making more of these. I know why they're making more, but it's like, is this even a franchise that people still care about? Honestly, like, there's not many people in my life, even the people I know that go watch every horror movie coming out, they don't give a shit about Insidious anymore. So, like, what's the point?
Yeah,
the last
really
one made like
it.
$200 million at the box office.
I know. It's crazy.
Absurd.
People care.
Horror does well. Like franchises.
Well, they're
new
made
ones.
so cheap. That's why.
Yeah, it's profitable.
I saw it. I saw The Red Door. I liked it.
Is that the one that Patrick Wilson directed?
Yeah, you know what? Like, good for him.
Yeah,
Good
Patrick
for
Wilson's
My
He
my,
tried.
my buddy worked on that movie, so I need to watch it because he worked on it.
Okay. Let's see. I have Oscar nom and wild card left, so might as well go with Oscar nom. I've looked in between two. I don't think this is
The Iron
a
Lady.
vote getter. The Iron Lady. Maybe tempting. I don't think this is a vote getter, but this is a respect getter. Let me just confirm that this did come out. Okay, yes, it did. A movie I just watched for the first time. I know I was talking about it a little bit, Brian, that I mentioned about the two movies I really needed to rewatch. And I will go with A Separation, which
Nice.
won Best International Film, Oscar Fujii, who's, I feel like his stature is a little different now because of what happened with The Hero and his new movie from Cannes this year that apparently wasn't very good. But that's irrelevant. I think this movie, I watched it for the first time just a few days ago, and it did kind of knock me out as well. It didn't have any large, loud moments that I might have expected from, a married couple going through stuff as a very basic way of explaining the premise. But it doesn't need to because it's incredibly well acted and staged, and the script is just fantastic. And I think it was nominated for original screenplay as well.
It was,
So
yes.
highly recommend if you haven't seen it.
This is a great film. It's fantastic. It's definitely one of my favorite international films of the past 15 to 20 years. I haven't seen a lot of his work. I think this might be the only thing from him that I've seen. I have to really look and make sure. Yeah, it's interesting when you reflect on this and then you see the work that he's done, and yeah, he's definitely looked at it in a different light now, but you can't deny how great this film is. It's fantastic. And I always love it whenever an international film doesn't just get the international film nomination, it also gets nominated in screenplay and then other above the line categories. So yeah, this is a very, very good film.
It's on my watch list. I've definitely heard wonderful things about it, but haven't had a chance yet to check it out.
Blind spot for me too, but you guys are selling me.
Nice.
All right. And next pick is for me. So let's see. I need comedy and wild card. Yeah, I think for comedy I am gonna go a little more of the dramedy route, although it does skew more comedy, I would say. I was considering Horrible Bosses, by the way. I do like that, and the second one too. But I do like this one a little bit better. I'm gonna go with Young Adult, starring Charlize Theron, Patton Oswalt. It's Patrick Wilson again showing up. This is directed by Jason Reitman. This is if you haven't seen it, Charlize Theron plays this like slightly successful YA author, or she's like ghostwriting this series that she kind of feels very like self-important and has these like greater ambitions for herself, but she goes back to her hometown and feels like she kind of feels like she's the shit and is looking down on everyone a little bit and wants to rekindle with her ex-boyfriend from like high school, who's played by Patrick Wilson, even though he's engaged. And it's a really great, it's a bit of a character study. It's just kind of like watching Charlize play this woman who is, delusional. She's a bit, she kind of just is used to getting her way and just thinks she can kind of steamroll over everybody else and has that kind of superiority complex about it. Patton Oswalt plays this, this guy who is she just kind of it feels like she can just sort of take advantage of him, just have him be, her friend, her sounding board. And but he gets to play some real humanity and kind of like, assert himself, stick up for himself and his place in the world. And it's a movie that I haven't rewatched it in a while, but I just remember thinking that it's like that kind of thing that you could just throw on and watch whenever. It's a little bit like mumblecore-ish, but it does have some big moments of comedy and some drama and stuff. So this is a favorite for me, mostly for the Charlize performance.
It's a blind spot for me, but you said mumblecore-ish, so I'm interested.
Yep.
Same here. Never seen it, but now it's on my radar.
Yeah,
it's very good. I like this movie quite a lot. Is this your favorite Jason Reitman, Veronica?
I mean, I do really like Juno, and I liked his other collaboration with Charlize, Tully. I really like that
Tully
too. But
very good.
Yeah, I don't know. I might Young Adult and Juno might be like kind of tied for me.
The real question is, are you pro or anti Saturday Night?
I like Saturday Night. Yeah,
okay, good.
Okay.
Good. I feel like I'm on my own island with that.
People are weird about that movie for no reason.
I kind of watched it and then like didn't think about it anymore, but it's a good watch.
I had a great time with it. I thought it was a ball. Jonathan, you're pro Saturday Night, right?
I'm pro.
Okay, good.
Not as pro as I used to be, but I'm pro.
I haven't seen it since we watched it at TIFF. I haven't seen it since then. I'm a little scared to go back to it because I'm worried it's going to go from a very high rating to a low rating. I'm terrified to watch it again.
Yeah.
Reitman's good though. This is a good pick, and yeah, Charlize needs to do more comedy. I think I said this on our last draft when we talked about Launch Shot and everything. She needs to do more comedy. She has great comedic timing. I think I like Launch Shot a bit more than this one, but she's great in both of these movies. Mm-hmm. All right, Aaron, back to you.
Back to me. Okay. Action horror. I'm going to go for action horror, and there's a lot of stuff I want to take here. But it would be out of character for me to not go horror in a category where I have the option. So I'll be passing up 2 action picks that I really want and a couple horror picks that I really want too. But Veronica, you just mentioned mumblecore. And I've got like the Avengers of mumblecore horror movies here just waiting for me to pick it. And it might not be a perfect movie, but I'm going to go with it anyway. You're Next by Adam Wingard, written by Simon Barrett, starring A.J. Bowen, Joe Swanberg, Amy Seimetz, Ty West, Larry Fessenden, Caitlin Shield, Barbara Crampton, like kind of a stacked cast for like ball knowers, right? Like genre heads. And I'm also gonna let this pick. This movie's great. It's gory. It's fun. It's a great final girl movie. It's got a couple surprising kills, and I think it is like a great culmination of like the whole mumblecore movement, and kind of propelled a lot of those guys to success. Not Gerwig levels of success, but this kind of solidified that they would be getting residuals for the rest of their life. But also, I just want to call out, I was going to maybe take a Swanberg movie here too. That guy directed 6 or 7 movies in 2011 alone, which is a huge feat. And I rewatched a couple of them last night, and one of them, I kind of wanted to take Silver Bullets here, but Your Next is kind of like a all-encompassing pick here for how much mumblecore and horror meant at this moment for me. So, going for Your Next, even though Scream 4, Final Destination 5, they were right there, solid sequels. But You're Next, that's my pick.
Well, I hate to be the guy to do this after you gave that beautiful spiel.
Oh no, is it not eligible?
This is not eligible.
Oh my
It
lord.
came out August 2013.
Really?
It had its premiere in
me.
2011 at TIFF and didn't come out until August 23rd, 2013.
Wow.
I swear
You
I'm not
should've
making up that
stopped me.
date.
I know you let him finish that whole rant.
What the hell? That's humiliating. Okay.
It was great
okay.
to hear it was great to hear your spiel. If anyone hasn't seen
Yeah,
it.
okay. Well, everyone knows how I feel in my heart of hearts now.
Haven't seen it.
I feel like I'm
I haven't
getting
seen
the
it
best
either.
of both.
I
feel
haven't
like
seen it in
getting
a
the-
long time.
No one's seen it? Oh, you've seen it a while ago?
Just not for a while,
Veronica?
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
The Guest is
Well-
my favorite Adam Wingard movie.
That's a good one. You're not a Godzilla x Kong fan?
Fuck that shit. I am excited for his
Okay.
new movie, though, with Adria Arjona. That looks very good.
Oh yeah, that does look solid.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to
Well, you had your runners up ready already, so
I did, but I'm going to totally pivot because I
Oh,
already
nice.
I already gave my my spiel for horror. Everyone knows how I feel about it. So, I'm going to go with I've got 2 action movies here that I really want. Let's go with let's go with Warrior.
Does that count for action? Are we allowing this team?
Letterboxd calls it an action drama.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, that's cool.
And it was released in the USA on September 9th, 2011. 2011. So, okay. Warrior, a movie I haven't seen in a while, but I really like. And I'm going to let this speak for like my appreciation of Gavin O'Connor sports movies as well, who I would say is one of the best modern sports directors. I didn't get Moneyball, so I might as well have a sports action movie here. But the guy's done Miracle. He's done The Way Back, which is a great Ben Affleck film. Warrior is he's great at mixing emotions and sports. And he's also done the 2 Accountant movies, which the first one I'm not a fan of, but the second one was a lot of fun. So I'm kind of a fan of Gavin O'Connor with the slept-on filmography, and Warrior is a solid film.
I just rewatched this earlier today. I hadn't seen it in forever, and I watched it again. And yeah, it's a very formulaic by the numbers movie, but it's so compelling and so engrossing. And a lot of it does have to do with Gavin O'Connor's direction. But I think the true MVPs of this are the performances. We have Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton as brothers who end up fighting in the rain, and you understand both sides of why they're doing what they're doing. And I won't get into the full logistics of it in case anyone hasn't seen it, but it's a really understated drama with incredible performances, an Oscar-nominated performance from Nick Nolte, who that's an all-timer nomination for me. I think that's a really sick nomination. And yeah, it's a very emotional drama, and yeah, it's very good. I really liked it a lot on this rewatch. So yeah, very underrated 2011 film that I recommend everyone check out if they haven't seen it.
I saw it a while ago. Yeah, I don't have too much memory of it, but yeah, sounds like a solid, sports drama.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've been like this close to starting it and then something happens. That's happened to me like 4 or 5 times because he made Miracle, which is one of my dad's favorite movie, and I'm like, okay, like out of loyalty, I will now go through your filmography. Warrior has been on the top of my watch list literally forever, and it just hasn't happened. I feel like I'll like it though.
Check it out. Yeah. That was a total pivot, by the way. That was not even on my short list. I panicked and I
Audible.
went with it.
Love it.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, we're back to me. Let's see.
Last 2 picks.
Action horror. I feel like a lot of the good ones have been grabbed in that department. So I'm kind of riding a little thin here. I am going to put on the table. Okay, I'll go with this one. I like this one. I think it has some fans. I'm going to put Source Code on the table in action horror. Very underrated film starring Jake Gyllenhaal as a man who has to stop a bomb from exploding on a train. He has 8 minutes to do so, and it's one of those stuck in a time loop movies, which is a genre that has a lot more winners than losers, in my opinion. This isn't the strongest in that subgenre of films, but it's a very, very fun entry in that it was directed by Duncan Jones, Nepo Baby, the son of David Bowie, previously directed Moon, which is an incredible movie. And then after that, he made garbage. Warcraft was not very good, and don't even get me started on that Netflix movie, Mute. Just don't even get me started on that. But his first 2, great 1-2 punch. Jake Gyllenhaal, great leading man, beautiful man. Michelle Monaghan, beautiful woman. Vera Farmiga, beautiful woman. Jeffrey Wright, beautiful man. There's a lot of things about this movie that are great. I haven't seen it in forever. I almost rewatched it when we did our Gyllenhaal draft a while back, but I didn't get around to doing so, and I still haven't revisited it, but I remember having the time of my life with it. Briskly paced, very energetic, very funny, very moving, very thrilling, all around a really wonderful time. So Source Code will be my pick for action horror.
Nice. Yeah, I think we did mention on the Jake Gyllenhaal draft. I do like this one. Same here. I haven't revisited it in a while, but yeah, a time loop. Jake Gyllenhaal, of course, but I think Michelle Monaghan is like really underrated, especially in this time. She was kind of, she was putting in a lot of like the sidekick girlfriend performances, but I think that she's like always good, always elevates whatever she's given, and this is a really fun one from what I remember.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I feel like I hit a dry spell. Like I said, 2011 felt like a blind spot. I haven't seen this one either. Maybe it's because I don't mess with the poster, but it's on the list.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
It's on the list.
Okay, now we're on to all of our wild card picks, and oh my god, there are so many options that I could go with here.
So many different directions.
Oh my god,
Don't do it.
What?
Don't do it.
Don't do it?
Don't do it to me.
Please, you've never seen the film that I'm going to put on the table.
Okay, that's true.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen it. I didn't check.
There's a good chance. There's a good chance.
All right, let's see if you've seen it. Let's see. Okay, for wild card, we're gonna go with a very Bryan coded movie. I've drafted this movie before on the pod, and I don't really care that I've drafted this movie before because this movie came out at a very low point in my life, and it kind of reinvigorated me and gave me the light that I had been searching for so long. Not to get personal or anything, but I am going to put for wild card The Muppets. I love them. Was that what you were gonna put, Jonathan?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not what I was thinking about.
I've loved the Muppets my entire life. They're very near and dear to me. We got that Muppet Show special a few months ago that Seth Rogen was producing. I don't know why they haven't greenlit a full series yet. I still don't understand why they haven't done that because it did so well for Disney and ABC and whatever. And hopefully very soon we'll get more Muppet content and everything. But yeah, this is a very interesting movie because the Muppets were kind of in a dry spell when this came out. Like, people were still watching work with them, but they were admittedly kind of fading from the spotlight. And this movie brought them back into the spotlight for a bit of a brief period of time. And I think a lot of it has to do with the wonderful screenplay from Jason Segel, who had expressed how he was a lifelong Muppet fan and he wanted to get this off the ground and he wanted to remind people that the Muppets are very special and very important to many people, and it's a really, really great film about finding yourself and self-discovery and just finding the sense of purpose. And it's also super hilarious. Great music throughout. Oscar-winning music, by the way. Man or Muppet is an Oscar-winning song. The fact that this is an Oscar-winning film is crazy. I did almost pull a crazy move and put this in Oscar nom, but then I'm like, no, I can't do that. I couldn't do that. People would have gone bananas in probably a bad way if I did that. But yeah, the Muppets have been very special to me my entire life. I love everything about this movie. It provides me so much comfort. It makes me feel at ease when I'm not feeling too happy, and it just makes me feel like I could find myself and feel at home with these characters, even though they're puppets and you have the occasional humans. But yeah, The Muppets is a wonderful film. It's crazy that this kind of restarted The Muppets, and Disney, unfortunately, still doesn't know what to do with the Muppets, which is crazy to me. But yeah, love this movie. Jason Segel's great. Amy Adams is great. Chris Cooper raps in this movie, and for some reason it works very well. And they kidnap Jack Black, which is insanely funny. So yeah, the Muppets is going to be my pick and wild card.
Beautiful, beautifully said. It's a blind spot for me, but I've done Man or Muppet karaoke many times.
You shouldn't even be allowed to do that if you haven't watched the movie. That is so
I'm sorry.
sacrilegious.
I'm sorry, Brian.
I've
seen A Christmas Carol, A Muppet's Christmas Carol.
Hold me
Christmas Carol
accountable.
is great.
Hold me accountable this year. I've never seen A Christmas Carol, the Muppets one, and I've said I was going to for like the last 3 years. So hold me accountable. I'm putting this out in the public now. This December, I will watch it.
If January 1st comes around and you still haven't watched the movie, I am going to message you being like, what the fuck, dude?
Dude, I just have to make time for Wonka though every year, and that
You
always
could watch
pushes
both.
out. Christmas
Oh,
Carol.
are you a Wonka stan?
Oh, Jonathan is like president
Oh.
of the Wonka Hive.
It's so
Oh,
good. It's
brother.
so good.
Welcome. Yes.
I've had to deal with so much bullshit from people who don't know what they're talking about regarding film, about Wonka.
Wonka is very good. Veronica, you're pro
It's very
Wonka,
good.
right?
I'm pro.
Okay.
I got
Wonka
a
too.
chocolate in my pocket. Absolutely.
I'm ready for Wonka,
Wonka
too.
Yeah, I'm ready for Wonka too.
Timmy, King of
Bring it.
December, forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Muppets. I don't know that I've seen this one. Like I said, yeah, I've seen the Christmas Carol one. I've seen like other iterations, but this one is not standing out to me as one that I've seen a lot. But yeah, I know that you love it. I know that a lot of people this is high on their list.
Oh, God. It's so good. It's incredible. And Amy Adams, could we please find her a new agent? Like, what the fuck?
Clara
Oh,
and
she's
the
in Clara
Sun.
and the Sun.
My
Yeah.
girl is struggling.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
Maybe
With
he's
Jenna
back.
Ortega, who
Oh.
also has famously fantastic projects.
All right, that's it with my team. Aaron, what are you going to do for wild card? I am so
Okay.
curious what direction you're going to go with this.
Yeah. I'm pretty sold on my pick. There are movies I like from this year more that are still on the board, but I kind of wanted to go with, and I am very sad to now not have a horror movie really in my draft, but that's okay. I panicked. But I wanted to go with a film by who I would consider my favorite director, one of, if not just definitely my favorite. This isn't my favorite film of hers, but it is still a solid film because all of her films are great. I'm going with Meek's Cutoff by Kelly Reichardt. Released in 2010, but theatrically distributed in April 2011. It's got kind of a stacked cast, and people don't really realize, but we got Michelle Williams, Bruce Greenwood, Paul Dano, Zoe Kazan, Will Patton. We got a nice cast, and it's this Western set in the 1800s. It takes place on the Oregon Trail, but if anyone's seen a Kelly Reichardt film, they know that, it's not a conventional Western. It's very methodically paced and very, very reflective, right? Kelly Reichardt is always thinking about the land she's on and the people she's around. Again, Old Joy and Wendy and Lucy are like perfect films. I'd also put Certain Women up there, Night Moves. I do really love this one, but her entire filmography, First Cow, everything's great. I haven't seen The Mastermind yet, so I need to get around to doing that. But
So good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see it. But yeah, I was surprised. Again, this is another Audible because I didn't know this was eligible. But yeah, that'll be my final pick and wild card, Meek's Cutoff.
I love Kelly Reichardt. Haven't seen this one.
It's a solid one.
Yeah, I have seen it a while ago. I do. I for some reason I kind of lump this one together with Certain Women, and I slightly prefer that one. But Mixed Cutoff, yeah, still very, very, very good.
I have only seen 3 Kelly Reichardt movies. I like all 3 of them, and this is not one of them, unfortunately. The Mastermind was in my top 10 of last year. I fucking loved The Mastermind, which I didn't even think that I was going to, but oh my god, it was very much a me-coded movie, and I really loved that movie.
Yeah, you got to check it out. And if you're a real one, you should watch all 6 of my films in order. That would be a hell of a marathon. Go from Fast 5 to Meek's Cutoff.
Just give you a real whiplash there. All right, my final pick. I'm looking. There are a lot of like big popular movies that are still undrafted, and if I wanted to be cynical and win the draft, maybe I would pick one of those. There are some that I do like, but I'll go with the smaller movie that I prefer and would like to spotlight here and talk about. But I will go with Andrew Haig's film Weekend, which I saw for the first time after seeing All of Us Strangers, which like completely devastated me. Like just watched the film in the theaters, felt moved by it, everything like that. But on like the subway ride home, I just couldn't get it out of my head. I walked in the door and my boyfriend asked me like, "Oh, how was the movie?" And I was like, it was good. I just started crying. And like that's just, I think that carries through like all of Andrew Haig's films that I've seen so far. Weekend is actually probably my, I've seen All the Strangers and 45 Years, and Weekend is maybe actually my least favorite of those, but it's still fantastic. It's just the other 2 are so good. So Weekend is, it's just kind of after a house party. These 2 guys get together for the weekend, and it just really captures his sense of this like really dreamy sense of loneliness. Like it's and just these moments of connection just kind of like puncture it. And yeah, I don't know, just a similar type of character, I guess, to Andrew Scott and All of Us Strangers. And I just think it was just so beautifully rendered in both movies. And yeah, it's just that kind of movie that it's kind of a feel bad movie, but it's not totally bleak or anything. I think that there are some real moments of beauty and connection, like I said. So yeah, I think that this one is just a really, really wonderful watch.
I haven't seen it. Really like Andrew Haig. Admittedly, the only thing I've seen from him is All of Us Strangers, and I loved that movie, and I'm very excited for what he has coming out next. But yeah, this is a blind spot for me.
But for you guys,
Same boat, but All of Us Strangers is really good.
yeah,
All of Us Strangers, not for me. Didn't hit me in the way I thought it would, but I respect it. And he has a movie coming out this year, I believe.
Yes, he does.
with Fred Hetchinger, I think.
Yep.
Who's starring in that one? Yeah. And yeah, also shout out to 45 Years from 2015. I love that one so much too. Charlotte Rampling is so good in that.
Wasn't she nominated for Best Actress for that?
Might have been. I'm not sure.
Right? Live fact check. I think she was nominated for that. Yes, she was.
Should have been.
She was,
Good.
yeah.
She should have been.
That's a cool nom.
Yeah.
I always love it whenever super small films make their way into like the Oscars and everything.
Yeah.
We need more of that to happen.
Can't believe
Yeah.
Andrew Scott did not for All of Us Strangers. That was crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. That's crazy. All right, Jonathan, your final pick, but also the final pick of the entire draft. How are you going to close it out? Are you finally going to put Jack and Jill on the board?
It's tempting.
Last
Are you
chance.
going to put Diary of a
Cars
Wimpy Kid
2.
Roderick Rules on here?
Cars 2, let's go.
That's more tempting. Cars 2 can die.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid, come on, do it. There's a lot of fans
No
of it out
one-
there.
No, there
No one
aren't.
has
You
picked
could
the
put-
best
Yes, there
picture.
are.
winner. A lot of places I could go. As Veronica said, a lot of popular movies here that I could still go with, but I'm actually surprised this one's on the board, so I'm gonna make sure that it actually came out this year. Yes, it did. I will take The Descendants. I
Good pick.
I
Great
just
pick.
think this movie just gets me. You know, it's very simple in its execution, in its premise, with a movie star performance in George Clooney. We don't have to talk about Alexander Payne, and we shouldn't. But this movie does work on me. Like the charm is kind of there, and I like some troubled characters. I haven't seen this in a bit, but I remember I was pretty swept up in it. So we'll end with The Descendants.
I fucking love The Descendants so much. It's so good. And yeah, it's unfortunate with the Alexander Payne of it all, but I really love this film. I love how it blends comedy and drama. It might be my favorite Clooney performance, tied with Michael Clayton. Shailene Woodley, this was her first feature film role, and she's unbelievable in this. Matthew Lillard coming in delivering like an all-timer, like secret sauce dramatic performance. Like, where the fuck did that come from? Like, where was that in Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed? Like, what the fuck? Powerful work, truly. And I also really love the Hawaii setting of it. I really like movies that are set in Hawaii, and I've never been to Hawaii myself, so I can't really comment on that. But yeah, I really like the movie overall. It's very good. It's not my favorite from Payne, but I like it overall. It won the Oscar for screenplay, adapted screenplay, which I don't know if I would have given it that personally, but good film overall.
Yeah.
Haven't seen the movie, but I won't stand for that Matthew Lillard and Scooby-Doo 2 slander.
No,
He's
I don't mean that as a
fantastic in all the
slander.
Scooby-Doo
I don't mean that as a slander. I just mean I wish that I had seen that in other projects and everything.
Yeah.
His work in Scooby-Doo 2 is otherworldly. It's unbelievable.
Unimpeachable, yeah.
When he gets punched in the face and he just screams, "You're pushing your luck, Scoop!" Like, incredible.
The Descendants is great. You also just informed me about the Alexander Payne stuff, which sucks because The Holdovers is goated. But now I have to grapple with that. So thanks, Jonathan.
I got you, man. Anytime. That's what I'm here for.
Problematic faves draft.
Yeah, right. Okay, we should do a canceled people draft.
Oh, jeez. Well, we did a team. We completed the draft. We picked all these films. We're going to recap our teams, say the film and what category we put them in, and then at the end, we'll just give some honorable mentions. All right, so Jonathan, starting with you, what is your team?
With the first pick in drama, I took Moneyball, Crazy Stupid Love in comedy, Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol in box office, Insidious in action horror, A Separation Oscar nom, and The Descendants in Wild Card.
Veronica?
And I have Drive in action horror, Super 8 in box office, Rise of the Planet of the Apes in Oscar nom, Take Shelter for drama, Young Adult for comedy, and Weekend for wild card.
Aaron?
In Oscar nom, I took The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. In drama, I took The Tree of Life. In comedy, I took Attack the Block. In box office, I took Fast Five. In action horror, I took Warrior. And in wild card, I took Meek's Cut Off.
And my team in box office, I took Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. In Oscar nom, I took Bridesmaids. In drama, I took Shame. In comedy, I took 50-50. In action horror, I took Source Code. And in wild card, The Muppets. Good teams, everybody. Very good teams. Very excited to watch a lot of the films on here that I haven't seen. Meek's Cutoff, definitely one. Attack the Block is certainly maybe the biggest one for me that I'm really excited.
So good.
Yeah, very excited to check that out. Weekend, and also revisit some of these films that I haven't watched in a long time. But, you know, there's a lot of films that didn't get drafted today, and I want to know if any of you guys have any honorable mentions. Jonathan, let's start with you. Do you have any honorable mentions?
You know, because I consider this still a blind spot year, as I've mentioned, some of the bigger movies that I thought were okay during the time, I actually look back on a little bit more fondly, and with a rewatch, I have kind of found to enjoy the first Captain America. There is something weirdly simple about it. I don't want to say nostalgic, that's almost too strong, but pretty charming. And the X-Men First Class, one of the better X-Men movies there. So in terms of like the bigger franchise superhero movies, I actually kind of enjoyed those. So shout out to them.
How about you, Aaron? Any honorable mentions?
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a lot of indie stuff I would have liked to highlight, but it's wonky with the theatrical release dates. But like Alexander Ross Perry's The Color Wheel is really good. Again, you've got those 6 Swanberg films that came out. You've got Another Earth by Mike Cahill, which is a really slept on like sci-fi drama. And then some major ones that I feel like we missed out on. I second Captain America. I was choosing between that and Warrior because that is one of my favorite MCU films. But also Contagion, I think, is a huge one and one that
Yeah.
has only gotten more
I
and more
almost
relevant.
considered putting that in horror, but I didn't know if that counted. But that's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
I also had
Yeah.
the horror thought, and I thought it would get vetoed. Another one that could probably be horror but wouldn't have counted is We Need to Talk About Kevin, which is huge. Hugo, I would have loved to see. I like Crazy. Yeah, it's overall a pretty solid year. Oh, and one more indie I would have taken, but it had a theatrical run in 2012. Codependent Lesbian Space Alien Seeks Same is an awesome movie from 2011.
Sounds like an awesome. That's an
Oh, yeah.
awesome title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun, and it's the last day of Pride Month, so I wanted to put something in there that
There
acknowledges
you
that.
go.
Absolutely.
Love it. Veronica, any honorable mentions for you?
Yeah, let's see. On the Seth Rogen draft, I wrote hard for Take This Waltz, which could kind of be comedy or drama. So that was definitely in my pocket. But let's see, some comedies. I like No Strings Attached. I like Something Borrowed. Considered those. Drama, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember liking Melancholia, and I was like, it's too, weird of a movie to like affirm if I like it or not. So I kind of needed a rewatch before I brought that one up again. I like Beginners. I don't dislike The Help. I think it's kind of like an okay watch, even if it's not like the greatest movie ever. And Jessica Chastain, long shall she reign. So that was kind of just to complete her great movie year. For action horror, yeah, definitely the MCU movies, especially Captain America. I think that's a crossover between like would be popular, and I also like really like it. But Absentia is an early Mike Flanagan horror movie. Far from his best. It's really early on, but that's my guy. So yeah, Scream 4, Fright Night is sort of horror comedy. The Awakening is a really great horror movie with Rebecca Hall. Yeah, I think that covers most of it. Not a huge Twilight person, but Breaking Dawn Part 1, it's there. It's an option.
That's the worst of the Twilight movies. Just want to point that out. And I saw that at midnight as well. That's another midnight movie. I went with my mom and my sister, and
Whoa.
it's not one of my favorite theater going experiences, but
a movie.
whatever. It's a movie. Yeah, Captain America: First Adventure, I really enjoy. I like the first Thor as well. I enjoyed that movie too. Rango, I think, is a very good animated film. Gore Verbinski directed it. It won
Yep.
Best Animated Feature at the Oscars that year. I love the mention of X-Men First Class. I think that movie is fantastic. Kung Fu Panda 2 is great. Very good film. Scream 4, really enjoyed that one. Friends with Benefits is fun. I have a soft spot for Just Go With It, even though I can recognize that it's a very bad movie, but I have fun with it. I enjoy it. I have a soft spot for some of those Sandler comedies and everything. Hugo, I am surprised that didn't get drafted at all. I would say that's the biggest surprise in terms of the films that didn't get drafted today, but it's so hard when there's so many films to pick from. The Adventures of Tintin, which is one of two Steven Spielberg movies that came out in 2011. I think it's the superior one, certainly. I have a huge soft spot for Transformers Dark of the Moon. I don't care if I'm wrong with saying that. I love the sequence where he's trying to start up the car and he just kicks it to no end. I love that scene. Every
that
time it's on
scene's
Twitter,
so
I get
funny.
so happy.
It's so
What'd you say?
funny.
It's so
It's,
funny.
it's so funny. It's so good.
It's so good. I don't know if I buy into the whole idea of McDreamy playing a villain, but hey, all power to it. Contagion was brought up. Sherlock Holmes: Game of Shadows I enjoy. Horrible Bosses was brought up. I enjoyed that one. Real Steel is a movie that I thought was going to suck because I saw that trailer all the fucking time when I went to the movies, and I actually really loved that movie. It's very sweet and sincere. Tinker's Terror Soldier Spy is a very good thriller. Bad Teacher is a comedy that, again, maybe not very good, but very enjoyable for me. Beginners is great. Ides of March is fantastic, underrated Ryan Gosling, George Clooney film. George Clooney directed it, and Ryan Gosling was the star of it. Fright Night, rest in peace, Anton Yelchin. Winnie the Pooh is very sweet. I enjoyed that one. Like Crazy, I just watched that the other day for the pod. Really liked that. Martha, Marcy, May, Marlene from Sean Durkin. That's a really good one. And Unknown, which is a silly Liam Neeson movie that nobody talks about, but I kind of like it for what it is. And I'm trying to make sure that's it. Oh, and Win-Win with Paul Giamatti, directed by Tom McCarthy, who made Spotlight. Very good film. It's a New Jersey film, so bonus points for that.
There we go. Yeah. It's also a double Soderbergh year. It's a double Spielberg year, but a double Soderbergh also. 'Cause he did Haywire as well.
Oh, yeah, Haywire.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite movie.
Spielberg, Scorsese, all eligible and undrafted. Wow.
Crazy.
I do think that Hugo not being drafted is... I mean, I'm not as high on Hugo as everybody else, but I was definitely surprised that nobody put it on their team and everything because, again, it's one of the most celebrated movies of the year. It's Scorsese. It's about movies.
I love Hugo. Just, it wasn't right. Didn't fit.
Jonathan, didn't you just watch Hugo for the first time for this draft?
I did, like maybe 2 days ago, I want to say. It's
Thumbs up or thumbs
okay.
down?
That's all right.
Okay, yeah.
That's okay.
I was in that camp when I first saw it. I actually didn't like Hugo when I first saw it. It took me a while to really warm up to it. It took 15 years for me to warm up to it.
Shout out to Cowboys and Aliens 2, which I've not seen in a long time, but my dad rides for that movie. He gave me the Blu-ray. It's over there. Sorry, Dad. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I will get to it.
I remember.
I saw it a long time ago, but
I remember when that trailer came out. It played in front of. I think I saw it in front of Deathly Hallows Part 1, and people were thinking that it was a James Bond movie set in the West, and everyone was like, "What the hell is this?" And then when Harrison Ford came on screen, everyone's like, "Wait, no, this isn't it." And nobody knew the title of the movie, myself included, because I wasn't on top of movie news or anything. So when the title "Cowboys and Aliens" came on screen, I'm like, "What the actual fuck?"
I was on my mind too because I think Olivia Wilde just talked about how like Walton Goggins saved her from like getting trampled by a horse on that film. So yeah, notable for that.
Yes.
Also, dishonorable mention for my least favorite Oscar nominee of all time, which is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close.
Oh my God.
Haven't seen it, but I don't think I want to.
Awful.
It's really Best Picture nominee. I can't say it's my least favorite Oscar nominee, but it's I think it's the worst Best Picture.
It's the worst. It's one of the worst for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch
Don't
it.
recommend it.
Makes me want to watch it.
No,
You
don't.
should.
Save
You
yourself.
should.
Save your time.
They cast the main kid from Jeopardy. He was on an episode of Jeopardy, and that's how he got cast.
So absurd.
Oh, really?
So absurd. Oh yeah, one more honorable mention. This is for my friend Sam. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Roderick Rules. I was not exaggerating at all when I said that movie has its fans. Veronica may be like,
movie.
no, it has no fans. There's a fan base for those three Wimpy Kid movies secretly.
there is.
And Devin Bostwick as Roderick, that's an all-timer performance. People are like, oh, Daniel Day-Lewis this, Jack Nicholson this, but Devin Bostwick, like.
From that to Oppenheimer, so
Yeah, the
Nolan
fact
liked
that he was in a Best Picture winner. Let's not forget about that. Like, Christopher Nolan could have said, "I saw Wimpy Kid with my children. And I said, this guy, he's going to be in one of my movies one day."
he's got something.
And he was.
All right, I think that covers it and concludes our 2011 movie draft. So be sure to vote on our Twitter and Instagram.
And with that is a wrap on today's episode of Some Like It Real. Thank you all for joining us. If you're interested in following along our journey, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Brian Sutfield.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Vera Albarella and on Letterboxd at Alba_real_A.
And a huge thank you to Aaron and Jonathan for joining us today. Aaron, where could the listeners find you?
Yes, you can find me on Letterboxd. Just look up Aaron Bartuska. You can find me on Instagram. Look up Aaron Bartuska. I think the username's different, but if you look up my name, you should be able to get there. And you look me up on Vimeo. I don't know, wherever you want. I also have two podcasts. One is called Box Office. Am I allowed to plug my podcast?
Absolutely.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
Movies, podcasts, whatever you want.
Yeah, there we go. One podcast is called Box Office Bets with Zach and Aaron. Me and my buddy bet on 10 films a month that come out and try to guess the opening weekend. Whoever loses gets to give the other a movie to watch. That's a lot of fun. And then I do Make More Movies for Split Tooth Media, where I interview DIY filmmakers about what keeps them creating. And so, yeah, you don't have to vote for me. I bet with my heart. It's fine. But the real ones will give me a vote.
Good campaigning.
And Jonathan, where could people find you?
Yeah, it's just my name, Jonathan Fujii, on YouTube, Twitter, Letterboxd, Instagram, the bright yellow icon.
I love that yellow icon. Love that.
I'll never change it. I'll never change it.
Love that guy. Love that guy. Go give Aaron and Jonathan a follow. Links will be in the description. And you can follow the show on all socials at Some Like It Real, as well as on YouTube at Some Like It Real. Be sure to subscribe and share it around, and tune in every Monday and Thursday for a new episode of Some Like It Real on podcast platforms.
We'll see you next time.